Yes, hello, my name is Joseph Blondeau, and I will go through the process-driven journey to SAP-based with business with you today. I'm sure that you have heard the keywords digitization several times, and also digital age, digital business, and all those words that we use nowadays. And that's why I want to speak to you today. Maybe your boss started thinking about it or asking you how you should deal with this topic, digital world and digital business. So basically, the digital age is changing the significance of IT now, and that's really a full way. Now, IT is really what makes a difference between the success or the failures of your business and your business models. So Software AG new digital business platform will deliver everything for you that your customers and you as a customer will need to succeed in the digital world. As you know, probably also the digital business is disrupting and it changes the world and the business like never before. As I already mentioned, the significance of IT is changing entirely right now because it now has a different role. It is supporting decision making. It is not only about ERP and processing the normal standard business and operations, but it's really about decision making in a high-speed world, and it helps you to have a high level of calculability. Well, digital transformation is basically what you should do, or what we say that you should do in that topic. That you use IT in all aspects of your business, and at the same time that you try to reuse it for innovation and creativity. But what is this really concretely? What topics do you have when you speak about digital business? So basically, digital business is about being able to react flexibly to new business needs, to act customer-centric. You want to put your customers at the center of your business because that's the way they think about your business and the way they interact with your business that really counts. It's not only about your internal processes, it's about the processes that you have with the customer. So this is something that is really different right now and is a new view on business. Also, to be successful and to have satisfied customers, you want to be innovative and creative so that you can adapt to all those changing markets and demanding customers. And last but not least, and it's very important, everything of that, it happens in real time. So it does mean that you need to act very, very fast and to be very agile in this kind of business. So, as a business, is not something that your business does just, and your business processes are your business. You will need to have a look on how to react and how to execute your business processes. And if you want to do that, you should follow us on the process-driven journey to SAP-based digital business, as it gives you the tools and procedures and methods and everything you need to have an SAP-based digital business, which means that you are still using a big system like SAP, but you want to make it more agile and more flexible so that you can cope with the challenges of the digital age right now. So digital business is something standard, but if you're an SAP shop, basically there will be many things here that you will need to consider during this journey to SAP-based digital business. So today, during this webinar, I will show you how this solution can help you reach your digital goals at every SAP project phase, basically. We'll be beginning from the strategy and the project planning. We'll go over to the business blueprinting, that is the definition of your SAP processes and solution. And of course, it will go over to the topic of testing these processes, communicating those processes and training them. And the topic of change management and continuous improvement will play here an important role. And last but not least, I will have a short look at the topic of template and rollouts of SAP projects so that you have a feeling what this means in nowadays business to have big projects on a global scale. So starting with the topic of strategy, it will, well, basically starting an SAP project will require some preparation work because SAP projects basically need a lot of time, effort, and also the coordination of many, many different stakeholders. You will have business, you will have IT, of course you will want to have the management commitment on this project, and all those kind of persons will need to be involved in the project. That's why basically you will need to set a very stable strategy from the project starts on, and basically if you have done many SAP projects, that's not really new indeed, but the difference now is that digital business will make that you will need to rework your strategy and to review your goals and KPIs to adapt on a regular basis to business and customers' needs that change. So, and this is the first point that we will go through today. So, if you go to the digital strategy, you will need, of course, as I said, to define the enterprise strategy and the business models. You will have a look at the core objectives and your targets and goals with the SAP project, and of course you will define the key performance indicators. As I said, it's not a one-time action. It's something you will do several times. The project preparation, if we go more into the more technical detail, will play a really important role as it sets basically the IT and business connection between the SAP systems and your business process modeling tools, so ARIS in that case. So you will prepare every relevant SAP settings. You will have central administration and configuration area where you will need to define how you design your business processes, what you want to do with them, what kind of business processes you want to connect with SAP and synchronize with SAP, and have a view on all of that. Maybe a short side note, in ARIS you really have a specific area for that where everything on administration, configuration and synchronization is all available so that you can review also maybe later some log files if something went wrong. Last but not least, the topic of reference content and documentation is important as you want to be flexible and agile and you want to be very fast. You have a way to jumpstart your SAP project in that you can import standard reference content. It is either from the SAP Business Process Repository, BPR from SAP Solution Manager, or we also offer from Software AG our own industry-specific reference content so that you can reuse them. You have best practices with that and standard processes as an information base. So you can map your processes and create your processes, but based somehow on a template. So yeah, as I said, industry performance radio really delivers predefined content, and this content is based on the knowledge of our colleagues from customer projects and their experience. So really industry specific, you will have the processes that you want to reuse. A very short view on IPR, just for you to know. We have more than 20 industries that are designed and available in IPR. This means more than 3,000 detailed processes. We also tackle the topic of regulations, where we have more than 700 templates there. And well, this is based, as I said, on 25 years and more of really practical experience from the consulting area. So And to name such, just a few industries that you can reuse, it's banking and pharmaceuticals. You also have utilities and consumer industry. And maybe a short note here or two, we have some offerings on the topic architectures here. What do you get from this? As I said, it jumpstarts your project, so you will have 25% faster requirements. It reduces cost in GRC projects by 50%, and in transformation projects we have somehow 15% savings. So it's really a big thing, and it's really worth to think about it. On the other side, you should also think and do not forget to consider your running SAP systems. So if you have already SAP systems, it makes sense to have a look and redocument them, so that you know what runs in them, what kind of processes do you have there, and what goes on there, and then map that with your to-be processes or the processes that you want to have very soon. Yeah, as I said, we will go through the journey. So now we are coming to the topic business blueprint, and basically business blueprinting in an SAP project, and I would say in every IT project, is really the time to make sure that your SAP solution will work as your business requires, so that you do not develop some processes that nobody really needs, but really to make sure that business defines what the requirements are, how they want to deal with their processes, and so that you can really design those processes and figure out how you can implement this with SAP. To do this, you really need a tool that is one view basically for business and IT, and that's what process-driven SAP offers, is that we have the blueprinting in ARIS, and you can reuse and synchronize that with SAP Solution Manager. And for that we have an intelligent integration between those two systems that really secures information exchange. If we look at the connection between business processes and SAP systems in some more details, but always with the idea that if you define those processes, it's just not about doing that one time, but it's really about repeating and being agile and changing these processes fast. So that's why you really need a very stable base and very accurate information on the processes. So ARIS basically connects to SAP Solution Manager, to SAP Business Intelligence, and also to SAP NetWeaver Business Process Management. As I said, being digital means being adaptive and ready for continued change. So while you will design an SAP-based digital business, you will create this information platform with as a kind of point of truth and communication for all stakeholders. In that stage, it's more business and IT. And this point of truth will be available during all the entire SAP project, but also long after the project is completed. The intelligent interface between ARIS and SAP Solution Manager offers basically wizard-based modeling, so you are sure that you reuse the right objects and that you use the right conventions, so that your design processes will be available and synchronizable with the SAP Solution Manager. The synchronization is bidirectional with the SAP Solution Manager. I will go into more details on the next slide on that. It's also important, if we speak about agility, that we want to execute really automatically some processes. So that's why ARIS supports also, of course, the modeling in BPMN 2.0 standard, and also exports those process models and those process information, so that you can reuse that in some execution tools such as SAP NetWeaver Business Process Management, but also, for example, in web methods that we offer from Software AG. Last but not least, the BI modeler functionality will support you in business intelligence projects, and it will extract the data flows and the structures from the SAP BI systems via an interface, basically, and it will support the further modelings of those in ARIS Cloud. These models, they will provide basically for you the starting point for planning and implementing enterprise data warehouse. So you will plan, you will design, and also you can reuse this to harmonize your SAP BI structures. Having a more detailed look on the intelligent interface to SAP Solution Manager, ARIS supports the bidirectional synchronization of contents between ARIS and Solution Manager. It is important to note that we do not make a difference if you model in BPMN or if you model in EPC or VAD. So it's all about defining your modeling convention and defining that you want to synchronize that with the SAP Solution Manager. Some of these objects are really bidirectional and for the synchronization. It is about the business blueprint structure, that is to say project, scenario, process, and process steps, and all the data that will be connecting to those, for example, transaction and user roles. Also the documents are synchronized with SAP Solution Manager, and the keywords, and also the attributes. Some other data is just more downloaded from the SAP Solution Manager, as this is something that you define in the IT system in this case, and that you want to reuse in ARIS for process modeling. And this is about master data, organizational units, and also, of course, the SAP system landscape. So, as I said, it's about synchronizing those processes with SAP Solution Manager. Then you will, of course, go into the Solution Manager and develop and customize all that processes that have been defined by business. And then it will be some kind of continuous process also, because you may get the feedback that IT needs to change something, that the process needs to be reviewed. So it's some kind of life cycle. It's not a one-time thing, which is good, because as we said, you want to do that several times in a lifetime, let's say. So if we are going further, well, as we said, your processes won't be the same forever. They will need to adapt throughout the application's lifetime. So, and your innovation and changing processes will also need to be tested and tested and tested again. So that's why the topic of testing SAP process is very important. It was before, but now, as processes change very fast, you will need to review them and to be able to review and test them very fast. That's why the test designer here is available, and it will help you to save time, because you will reuse basically the process data that you have designed before to create some test scenarios and test data. So, as I said, it is an important milestone that the testing is, and it's basically a criteria for a successful go live and a fully working SAP-based digital business. As your processes, as your business, it will be important to make sure that they are working exactly the way they should. The test designer will support you in defining integration scenarios and real business processes that will be based on the process model that you already documented in ARIS. Going through the models, end-to-end processes, test cases will be recorded and documented, and you will create, doing that, the test cases. These information can be synchronized depending on what kind of test system you use. They will be synchronized with the SAP Solution Manager and put over into the test workbench, or maybe you want to put it into the HP Quality Center of the SAP Solution Manager, or if you have different testing system, basically, you can use the standard export functionalities that ARIS offers, such as BPMN or XML, so that you can put it into other testing tools. And that's the point where I want to have a short look into the system with you, so that you get a feeling how it works. So here I'm working in the ARIS Architect and using the Test Designer extension pack. And here I have my process structure that I had defined before. And now I want to create a test case for the sales order processing area. So I want to define as a business user how the test case should look like. So here I can select my source model where I want to work on. And here in this example, I will only use one object and one model. But of course, you can do that over several models, so that you are able to define the integration test and integration scenario, which are the most important for you, because you want to make sure that the end-to-end processes really work. So here I'm in a kind of recording mode, let's say, where I can select now through the process which test path I want to go through. So here I start with the contract processing, and the system helps you. I click on next, and here I can select the transaction codes that I want to transfer for the test groups and testers. So I will just select this one transaction, and I will go through this process model, select the transaction, and I want to go this right path, and there I have a decision. I want to check if the customer metadata is available or not. So, well, in that case, I would say it exists, and then the system jumps automatically further into the process as long as there's no decision. And where there's a decision, I have the choice to say I want to go this way. So in that case, we will say, well, the vehicle is not in stock. So we check this. We will create a new sales order. The process here goes further, so I have nothing else to click. And here I can click on finish because I'm done. Or I could go into another process and continue this process model. So I will overwrite the data I would create it before. So I say yes. The system is saving that. And after, I can display the test path that I defined before. So as you can see, it creates a very nice graphic where you can see all the test paths and the test case. Of course, at the same time, it creates some test data. You can run a report where you can define which information should be inside this report. This report can be reused directly for testing, or maybe it can be synchronized with the SAP Solution Manager or other testing tools. So back to the presentation now. We have defined the processes. We have tested the processes. Now, of course, we want to communicate and train those processes, because the status of the process and of the project should be communicated ongoing to all stakeholders, because you need to get feedback from the users and the other project team members. Using ARIS Connect, you will make digital documentation available globally, basically, to everyone via intranet. And it can be reused for review, for communication, for training, so that everyone can give you feedback and give you some more information. Process models and also the related documentation, which is stored in various tools and sources, such as the SAP Knowledge Warehouse or Microsoft SharePoint, can be also directly accessed from one central point here in ARIS Connect. And further, which is also important here, so that you can get the feedback, you just want only to give information out, but you want to get the feedback. The ARIS Cloud and ARIS Connect will support the social collaboration and the collaborative process design, so that every stakeholder can give their personal feedback on the digital SAP processes. Of course, you can define who sees what, who does what, and who is allowed to have writing rights, etc. So it's not that everyone is working and designing business processes. That's not the point. But you can get somehow the wisdom of the crowd and also include the feedback of the different persons. Training. It is also integrated here in the collaboration area. And it supports basically the call of SAP information. We'll go to the next slide. So you can call from ARIS SAP documents and SAP transactions. This is the one view, so the one from ARIS, from the process model to the SAP information, but the other side is working also, so you go from the SAP system into the ARIS process model. And that's what I want to show you also in a very short demo. So I will go into my ARIS Connect. So here you can see ARIS Connect in the cloud. It's, as I said, some kind of design, but also collaboration functionality. Here you can see the collaboration already. We have a lot of comment also in different languages. We work with tags, so you can select and reuse those information. But in that case, I want to show you how someone working in the sales area works with the sales order processing process. So I will have a search on that. I will start it, and I get some result list. I want to have a look at this process model here. And here we are starting, really the sales order processing information. You can see we have different views on the process. You have this overview there. You have the step view, which enables you to go through the process. You can see the same information in a table form. Of course, if you like processes, you can see the diagram there. But in the SAP area, there's a new view, something that you can reuse really to make your end user very informed about the processes. Here this view is called the transaction fact sheet, where you can see all transactions that are listed in this specific SAP process. So I will have a look at the details on the VA01, which is the create sales order transaction. I can see the transaction types. I can see in which SAP system it is working. I can see the supported processes and in which activities it is coming. Now I'm an end user, and I want to have a look at how it does look like in the SAP system. So I would say I want to run the transaction. So I obviously had the wrong logon data. I will say OK. So I type my username and also my password, and I say I want to log on. And at this moment, the system is opening the SAP system really directly with the right transaction. As you can see here, it is the VA01, and so that you can see how the process looks like, and also how the SAP transaction looks like. So basically, that's the point here. What I wanted to show you, you can do the same with SAP documents, and interesting also, you can do the same from the SAP help, but the other way around. So you can start in SAP the F1 functionality, and it will lead you to the process information in ARIS Connect. So as we said at the beginning, we want to have one view for business and IT, and that's what basically we really achieve there. Going further, change happens faster, process innovation becomes your daily business. So you will need to pay a lot of attention to change management and process improvement topics. Indeed, process information and availability in the enterprise will lead to process improvement, which in turn will lead to the need for integrated change management. So, and as your processes are your business, I said it already, I know, you surely want them to improve continuously, basically. So how do we do that? Of course, communication and collaboration, which I already showed before, is one point. For review, for comments, to change some available processes and to get the feedback of other colleagues. It's basically the main point. And of course, it is supported by some automated workflows and possibilities. So ARIS will offer you here some predefined workflows that will support basically the process governance. And process governance is the process of process management, finally. So these workflows, the predefined workflows, are about sharing a model to someone else to have a look at it, about submitting a change request for that, and also about submitting documents for approval. So these mini workflows will support you to do that more automated. And last but not least, for change management and continuous process improvement, of course, you will need some analysis capabilities and some reporting capabilities. Because every single piece of information that you put into ARIS, from organizational information, from process information, IT information, is something that you can analyze afterwards. So you will be able to do some what-if analysis, to do some cost counting, and much more, so that you can be more adaptive and flexible in today's digital business, because you see the results of your analysis, and it is maybe a starting point for you to change the process. Basically, ARIS offers 3 kinds of analysis. It's ad hoc analysis, spreadsheets, and queries, which are very useful and gives you the possibility to be quite fast on those topics. As business is now global SAP templates and rollout projects are very common practice in today's SAP-based business. But not only globally, you may have a complicated company structure, and you will need to use template and rollout projects, not only on a global base, but maybe for the different departments doing different things or having different products. So this is something really that we use nowadays very much. Standardization, of course, it is key in SAP-based companies, but at the same time, you will have the need to adapt locally if it's a global template, or you will need to adapt to different product needs, to different regulations, so that you will have to deal with this topic there. Template and rollout projects will need a dedicated approach, basically, to support the coordination of central and remote project teams, basically, that are working on implementation of global template processes. This increased complexity, of course, and it requires a specific approach there. So that's why ARIS Cloud makes really sure that the global process templates that you design in ARIS first will be synchronized with the SAP Solution Manager. And from here, these templates can be transferred into several different implementation projects in Solution Manager. So, and these implementation projects will describe the local processes, process implementation, or the local, the specific product implementation that we will need. And that's why they will be, again, synchronized directly to the local process definition that you have in ARIS. So really, it's quite a complicated topic there, and that's why we really have a dedicated approach, and that's why also we have a specific report to compare and adjust to really make sure that no change will get lost, and that the data will be updated everywhere when necessary. So going further, we had a view on the journey to SAP-based digital business, but I want to summarize this for you in some pitfalls and hints, because if we look at the common failures stuff and also the common success factors, then it reviews and it gives you a good feeling how you should deal with the SAP-based digital business with ARIS. So some common pitfalls would be that, some people start the SAP project and they just think everything that we had before, we just put it in the bin and we don't consider it anymore. So it would be ignoring the running SAP solution. Of course, you can do that, but it's very dangerous, because you will have no acceptance from the business side and from the end user, and also you will lose the knowledge of these processes, and you will get not enough information about the current processes. If we look at the testing, of course, as you need to adapt your processes, as you want to make your customers happy and you want to be a customer-centric company, if you just focus on functional testing, that is to say, oh, I am able to create a sales order, great, it's not enough. You want to be sure that from the moment where the customer places the order to the delivery and to the billing and to maybe the satisfaction survey, everything is going fine. And this is what we say, that you really want to go onto end-to-end and integrated testing, so that you have a good overview on process working or not working. Time is a big factor, so do not underestimate the time that you need for testing and training, because basically they are almost the most important topics, because defining business processes is a nice thing, but they should be working and the people should know about it so that they are able to work with this processes, and especially with the processes changing all the time, you need training, so that people are really up to date on that. Some people do that also as to keep the new processes secret until go live. It's possible too, but you lose a very important information factor. It's the feedback. So it's much better to also communicate and to discuss draft processes, so that you can get feedback and some further views and information on the processes, and so that you are able to design the best possible process, basically here. And process information is not something for before the go live. Process information should be considered also after the go live. So that means on the other side, that the best practices are that you need to include business and IT from the beginning on, and also the C-level. You need to have their commitment and their support, because it's the base for the success of your project too. Reference content will help you to start faster and to have a better process information and structure. While thinking about business processes, you should also think about, as I said before, the process of process management. So how do you govern your processes? How do you make sure that your processes are fine and changing, and that the continuous improvement of those processes is secured? This is very important there. And also, it's the other way around for training. It's very important that early information and collaboration on these digital processes is available. So communicate, collaborate, and improve your process continuously. Well, Software AG also has helped a lot of many SAP-based company to do so. What I said, just explain all the time and all the journey. It's not something new that companies just started yesterday. We have a lot of reference customers and happy customers that have done, that have designed and optimized their business processes and manage also the transformation to an SAP-based digital business. So, here just a few examples of some successful customers that, they improve their processes, they hasten their training and implementation times by up to 20-25%. Some other companies like Deutsche Telekom, had a very big project on the testing topic and reused the test information and make the test cases designed by the business, so they increase really very great end user acceptance and very high quality of the system. And some other big projects, we had some savings of almost 30% per rollout, so a very, very high savings on that. So, with ARIS Cloud and with process-driven SAP management, you will get the right tools to support your SAP project, and at the same time to provide the necessary agility so that you can transform constantly to become a digital business. So basically, the very last question would be right now, when do you start your journey to an SAP-based digital business? So I would like to thank you for your attention. And if you need some more information, you can just visit our information page, for example, on the ARIS Cloud page, Software AG page, and also very interesting link as the ARIS community the ARIS community. So thanks again, and we hope to hear from you soon.